So I will be taking the political typology, political quiz. Mm, mm. If you had to choose, would you rather small government providing fewer services? You say they were. I'm only saying this because I think if we did have a bigger government, it would help out with many of citizens in the US to have better health care, better government services. I just feel like that would be honestly, I think that would be a good thing, hopefully. I think that it would expand for sure if we did have a bigger government that provided more services. I think that'll be cool. I think that'll be not a big deal because I mean, it'll be basically like more help with US citizens who are in need because it's homeless people out in the streets now. And I just feel like that will really put an impact on the US. Which of the following statements? I feel like this is the correct view, in my opinion, closest to my view, because why not be open to the people from all over the world? Because honestly, I thought that this was the land of the free, but it's not at all, because of course they do not want other people of different race, people from different countries, like they don't want them over here. So I think, in my opinion, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I just thought honestly that I thought it was a land of the free. I don't know. I would say that they are usually better because in the question is saying experts who study a subject for many years. So of course, I feel like they would be better at making good policy decisions because they have more experience. They know they basically learned many things to get to where they are. And I think that would be the best choice. And then on top of that, they learn from it and they can pass it on to others so they can avoid going down the wrong path, So thinking about increased trade of goods and services between the US and other nations in recent decades, which says the US has. I would say gain more than it has lost because increased trade has helped lower prices and increased the competitiveness of some US businesses. But honestly, I really need to think a little more on that one. But I would say that one only because I'm just thinking about how it is now, how with trade nowadays it has increased with some businesses and people who work on a farm and do that type of labor. But I think that'll be a good one. I'm not 100% sure because I really need to sit there and think about that one. How much more, if anything, needs to be done to ensure equal rights for? I'm saying that because it does need to be equal rights. Why are you guys, not saying you guys here, but I'm just saying, like, why is it so much hatred toward people with different skin color, literally, or it's just pure evil. Let's put it like that. I mean, I don't see what race has to do with anything. Even like on applications, when you filling out a job application, it's asking, are you Latino? Are you Hispanic? Are you African American? Why do they actually have to know that? Why does that matter? Because basically they're just here to get a job. I feel like race should not matter. They're just here to work and earn money. I don't see why that is a thing. Which come closer to your view about what needs to be done to ensure equal rights? Yes, I feel like it needs to be rebuilt. It needs to be a few fixes and edits. It's just it needs to be edited for sure, revised, and go back and think about what is right and what is wrong instead of just being hateful at the same time because of a race, an ethnicity. Which of the following statements come close to your view as a corporation? I think most corporations make a fair and reasonable amount of profit because honestly, I think it depends because I think that I know that there are more is companies out here that's getting paid way more than the next company, like, but the profit of it, like I said, I think it just depends, in my opinion. How much, if at all, would it bother you to really? It wouldn't bother me at all. Like, I honestly would not care about how someone is speaking. I would love to learn a different language. Why not? Why not learn from it instead of being mad about how they speak? On a scale of 0 to 100, where 0 means you feel as cold and negative as possible, and 100 you feel as possible. Okay, how do you feel towards Democrats? 50-50 on both. I honestly, in my opinion, do not have a problem with it at all. I don't have no problem towards neither of the groups. would say this is one. I was thinking about the U.S. stands above all other countries in the world. I was thinking that, but I would just say the U.S. is one of the greatest countries in the world, along with some others, because, wait. I would say the U.S. stands above all other countries in the world only because when I read this, I think about how the U.S. Army, like how they have so much, like they have so many military bases in different countries. Like, I feel like the U.S. do have what's the word? I would say control. Really not a control. Well, I'll say control because their army is A1. The U.S. does not play. Many people may not know this, but the U.S. does not play. When it comes to like the army and all of that, going into war, the U.S. do not play. So I would say the U.S. stands above all other countries in the world. Ooh, time's running down. How much of a problem, if any, would you say each of the following are in the country today? People being too easily offended by. Major problem, especially on social media. And then people, even people around here, like it is people that take things offensive, but people say things that are very offensive to others. People do say that. People would just say things out of hatred. Time is running. In general, how much do white people benefit from advantages in society that black people have? A great. I mean, let's be honest with each other here. I feel like I know, matter of fact, they do have advantage. They took over everything, and if we get into it, but I don't have time. If we got into it, I will really discuss about that, how it really was then, decades ago. Do you think there's social acceptance of people who are transgender? I don't think they're bad. I just feel like they're still who they were when they came out, in my opinion. Overall, would you say people who are convicted of crimes in this country serve? It depends, because some of them is too much. Some of them too much, and some of them is not. Some of them is not too much. And the ones that are needing to be added on is not. Those are the list. The one that is actually bad and actually is terrible things that actually done happen compared to someone who is selling marijuana on the street. The people who selling marijuana on the street are getting years, decades. But a person who molested a child get less than 5 years. Which of the following? Okay, time is running out.